Hey guys, this is the Prelims Focus News discussion of 12th and 13th of October, guys. So actually I was busy a bit for these like past few days. Actually there was some reasons, so let's not go into those reasons and just complete those news affairs, guys. And one more thing, and guys, since I'm covering the 2 days current affairs at a single go, so it might take a bit of more time, so let's begin with that. So guys, the very first news was about the celebration of International Day of Girl Child, which was celebrated in October 11th, and the theme of this time celebration was empower girls before, during and after conflict. All right, because there are in today's days a world, there are many challenges which is being faced by the girl child, that is child marriage, which is very much prevailing in India, female genital mutilation, sexual assaults, exploitations and trafficking, which we often kind of hear all these news in daily paper news if we just go through paper. So that's why the United Nations have thought of bringing attention to the world government of the government of each and every country, so that they can take up this call for empowerment of their girl children. All right. Next is about a report which is being published by IMF. That report is called Fiscal Monitor. In that report, it has been said that India could provide universal basic income of rupees 2,600 a year. Remember this thing, 2,600 a year, not a month. All right. So why the context of it is basically this IMF has come up with Fiscal Monitor report, which is again a very prelims focused trivia you are getting. All right, and it has been said in that the universal basic income can be given in India's also, because there are extensive spaces in India through which this income can be given to them, and few recommendations has been given by this report. Actually, guys, we have already discussed about this in I guess when the economic survey came up. So after that we discussed a lesson in that. So if you at all haven't seen it, so that is in my YouTube channel only. You can search for it. All right, it came around March month, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So you can search for it. We have already discussed about it extensively, right? And you can go through it again if you at all want to. But still few others recommendations are given, like this 2,600 a year might be given to every person's. There just one condition is there, that the government has to remove its food and energy subsidies. But there are other angle to it also, because if government gives this universal basic income to its people, then it might give a fiscal burden of around 3% of the GDP to the government of India. All right, and also eliminating the wider subsidies would require sharper increase in price of in each and every sector, whether it be food, whether it be energy sector. All right, so the government must look onto this matter very keenly, and later see the prospects that what can actually be done in this area of universal basic income in India. All right. Next is guys, to boost Skill India mission in India, government the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs, basically he has given approval to these two schemes which are called SANKALP and STRIVE scheme. The full form of SANKALP is skills acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood promotion, and this STRIVE full form is skill strengthening for industrial value enhancement. Guys, see, actually through all these things, actually the government is also getting the financing from the World Bank. All right, and that financing is of the sum of rupees 6,655 crore, for which under the Sankalp scheme there will be provision of market relevant training to around 3.5 crore youths which are prevailing in India, right? Next is STRIVE scheme will focus on improving the quality and the market relevance of this vocational training and education, whatever is being given by the India, because it will, in one way, it will also give kind of impetus to the National Skill Development Mission of 2015, which has been proposed by, of course, the government of India, and also its submissions, like various submissions are also running under the government's scheme of National Skill Development Mission, under which government want to boost the skill manforce in India, right? So to promote all these things, government has come up with this two Sankalp and STRIVE scheme. Next is, guys, an MOU, that is memorandum of agreement, has been signed between India and Belarus. So let's see the location of it in big map. Guys, this is India and this is Belarus, and Belarus is an Eurasian countries. Eurasian countries are those countries which are coming between Asia and Europe. I mean, it is not totally in Asia and not totally in Europe, partly in Asia, partly in Europe. That's why these countries are called Eurasian countries, right? So it is being said that it is the first time that an MOU has been signed with an Eurasian countries regarding cooperation in area of vocational education, training and skill development, right? This area, this is the first time India is signing MOU with Eurasian countries, that is Belarus, all right? Because it is being seen that Belarus has a huge concentration of industries, whether it be manufacturing, whether it be heavy industries, and also the skill training system is very much efficient in Belarus, through which a government of India can take a few good things. I mean, we can intake few good things within us, right? Like how the know-how of emerging technologies are being carried out in Belarus, training and evaluation methodologies, how it is being done in that country, right? Next is content development for regular distant learning or e-learning or training of masters trainers, competency building of accessors in area of their competencies, and network building and industry linkage. So these are a few of the basic ratta wala point, which if you at all want to remember by your heart, so you can do it, right? But it's not of that important. Anyways, next is India has secured 100th rank on global hunger index. Guys, this index is very, very important because this has directly came in the prelims of UPSC many a times, all right? And again, it is means very, very important, right? So just see that who releases this global hunger index. It is being released by an institution called International Food Policy Research Institute, that is IFPRI, and it ranks countries on the basis of 4 criteria, and this criteria UPSC has asked on question 2016 prelims question paper, right? What are the criteria on which this global hunger index is ranked, right? So they are 4 criteria, that is undernourishment, child mortality, child wasting and child stunting. See guys, this child wasting and stunting, these languages are quite very technical in terms, but still just remember, if you can, that child wasting is low weight for the height, all right, and child stunting is low height for age, all right? And this global hunger index in these countries are ranked on 100-point scale, in which 0 being the best and 100 being the worst. And it is being said in this report that India has serious hunger problem, and earlier previous year, that is 2016, we have ranked 97th position, but this time we have ranked 100th, means we have gone down by 3 positions. And also few of the important facts are given that many of our neighboring countries like China, Nepal, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, they are ahead of us, but we are just ahead of our 2 neighbors, that is Pakistan and Afghanistan, and we should not be proud of it, all right? So anyways, just remember one more thing guys, China has secured 29th rank, and whenever we compare in any geopolitical question you take in mains examination, if we at all compare now, we don't compare ourselves with US and European countries, but we many often compare ourselves with China. So this rank of China you can remember also, all right, because it will be helpful in your mentioning of that how China has grown. With respect to China, we couldn't grow that much, right? So these are few of the rank you can put forth directly, which will quite of course enhance your answer. All right guys, so next is India denounces call to give up nukes and sign NPT. Guys, basically this was in response to a call by a group itself, which is called New Agenda Coalition. Now I'll show you that what are the countries who are this member of this New Agenda Coalition. They are Ireland, Mexico, Brazil, Egypt, South Africa and New Zealand, all right? So these are basically geographical dispersed group. You can see they are not situated in a particular geography, but rather they are dispersed in different locations, all right? And guys, they basically seek to build an international consensus to make progress on nuclear disarmament, which is they are following the principles of nuclear non-proliferation treaty, under which only 5, that is P5 countries are allowed to have this nuclear weapons, and other countries are not allowed to have it, right? So that's why guys, this was a news, and let's discuss to whole and soul of this news. Guys, basically in July month, as if you have read the news, then a treaty has been came up in United Nations General Assembly, and that was a treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons, all right, under which 122 countries have voted, right? And India also has, you know, said that okay, we will also sign, but the condition is that all other countries would have to sign, because it's not you know, viable that means if Pakistan will keep its nuclear weapon and we won't keep our nuclear weapon, right? We only keep our nuclear weapon for deterrence, and that is to a bit extent good also. I mean, that is fine, because otherwise Pakistan would have attacked in India, right? So that's why India has said that we will not you know, abide by this nuclear non-proliferation treaty at the same time, because it is quite distinctive in nature, because it only allows P5 countries to have nuclear weapons and not the country like us to have nuclear weapons, right? And a few of the more facts was given in this news, guys, like 4 UN member states have never joined the NPT, that is India, Israel, Pakistan and South Sudan. They have never joined NPT. All right, and North Korea has, in 1985 they have joined NPT, but in 2003 they have you know, withdrawn their you know, membership through this NPT, right? Okay, we have, I guess, discussed it, right? Yeah. Next is US Israel has quit UNESCO. US with Israel has totally quit this institution, that is United Nations institution, that is United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organizations, because it was being alleged against the UNESCO that UNESCO is continuing its anti-Israel bias. All right, guys. So through this step, US has you know, in Hindi we call it, from one aim they have done two, you know, they have captured their two prey, right? So basically under it, what the US has done is, like, US has shown Israel that, see, for you people, we have you know, we have kicked off this institution called UNESCO, and also US has to give around 50, if I'm not wrong, $50 billion to, you know, UNESCO as an institution. So since US has withdrawn itself, so there's no need, no more need to, you know, give that money to them. So, you know, US has played a very tricky, you know, the game here. All right, so this was about it, guys. And yeah, and because why UNESCO is continuing its anti-Israel bias, because UNESCO, it was alleged that UNESCO has already recognized Palestine as a state, which Israel don't want to. And you know that you know, United States of America is totally allied with this Israel, right? So they also don't want you know, UNESCO to recognize Palestine. That's why these both countries have quit from UNESCO, right? Next is a very good report, guys. Basically, this report named is a global disaster displacement risk model, under which it was being said that calamities displace around 23 lakh people in India every year, right? And guys, it is also said that India ranks the highest among the world's most disaster prone countries, and rise in homelessness will continue to increase in our India. But there is one positive thing that has been said by the report, is that under the, I mean, the disaster preparedness of India is very well, because under recent Bihar floods, out of 1.75 crore people affected, 8.55 lakh people has directly been evacuated. And guys, trust me, this figure is huge for a country, for a developing countries like India. This figure is, like, seriously, this is quite huge. And that is being said by the government, because it has been said that the countries, different other countries, couldn't save that much, I mean, couldn't evacuate that much people, right? But Indian government has, you know, power to do so. So that's why it was being, you know, said that, yeah, Indian government has done a very good thing, and in future prospects also Indian government can do much better in this sector if they, you know, keep on increasing their disaster resilience, all right, and governance in this sector. And in this, a few other facts were also given, which you can directly incorporate in your mains answer, guys, because in mains answer there is a different topic called disaster management, right? So what is the vision of this United Nations Office of Disaster Risk Reduction? That is understanding the disaster risk reduction, strengthening the disaster risk governance program, investing in disaster risk reduction for the resilience, and enhancing the disaster preparedness for effective response, which was, you know, the example of which is recently been shown in Bihar floods, right? So guys, yeah, this was about the news of these 2 days, guys. We'll meet in next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you for listening, guys. Thank you very much.